Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another airport at the Fresno Yosemite International Airport. Today, we have a whole bunch of cool aircraft to get into. It is a night update, and so longtime viewers of the Fresno updates might know what happens when it's a night update. There's a cool visitor that we'll see later on in the update. That happens with pretty much every single night update at Fresno. And if you've been a longtime viewer of the channel, you may know what is to expect. But yeah, we'll get to that at the end of the update. We'll begin over here in these Alaska gates. We have a total of 9 aircraft in this airport, and 9 aircraft at the terminal, and we have one extra one, which is not realistic for the time frame of this update. It came in a day later, but it felt important and special enough to include in this airport update anyways, so we'll just show that. That will be the last aircraft of the update. But yes, we'll start with all the aircraft that would be realistic to see on the night of April 8th? Yeah. Okay, so we will begin right here. We have our first Alaska E-175 right here in the Honoring Those Who Serve livery. This aircraft arrived in from the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport and we're heading out to Portland. Now, this aircraft was operated by the aircraft is operated by Horizon, but the actual flight was operated by SkyWest, so that's not 100% realistic right there, but these are the only 2 Alaska E-175s that I have, so kind of have to make do with what resources I have available to me. The second Alaska E-175, this is realistic in terms of the operator and the aircraft itself. And so this aircraft arrived in from San Diego, California. We'll be heading out to Portland. And both of these aircraft are on overnights today. So these will just be chilling out here for the next few hours, getting their sleep. And then they'll be off to their respective destinations in the morning. And sticking with One World here, we have 2 more overnights here. These both being overnight turns, actually, these 2 American aircraft. We'll begin with the CRJ 700 down there. This one is on the overnight turn from Phoenix Sky Harbor. And next down we have the American 737-800, which is doing the Dallas turn today. That is right for Aviation's airport. And they'll conclude the One World gates here to begin the airport update. And now we'll move on to the end of the terminal, then we'll loop back around, ending in the international gates. All right, and now at the very end of the terminal here, we have, of course, our Southwest and Allegiant gates. We have over there in the back the South Australian 737-800 in the Heart livery with split scimitars. This aircraft arrived in from Las Vegas, and it'll be heading back out to Las Vegas after an overnight stay here in Fresno. This aircraft, of course, very synonymous with these Fresno updates, has been in like at least half of them at this point, if I had to imagine. So yeah, a very common visitor here at Fresno, that Southwest 737-800. But here it is again, and it is a splendid aircraft, so definitely not complaining about that. Next down here we have this Allegiant A319. This aircraft is not doing an overnight turn, but rather it is still doing a turn. Also from Las Vegas, so both Southwest and Allegiant do the Las Vegas service here to Fresno, and that is what this aircraft is doing right here. So yeah, this one on the turn from Vegas, and it will be soon pushing back once they can get the rest of the bags loaded up. This one will be pushing back for the service out to Las Vegas tonight. And finally, for our domestic passenger services here, we have the United E-175 right there. This one is operated by SkyWest, and this aircraft arrived in from San Francisco on the turnaround once again right here. So this aircraft actually just arrived in. You can see the bags getting loaded off right there. So yeah, this one on the turn from San Francisco. And then behind that one, we have the Delta E-175. This one doing the turn, Salt Lake City turn. Of course, what we always see here for Delta there, one and only route to Fresno, which is very consistent on the E-175 as it is today. And that is what we see right there. That one also operated by SkyWest, by the way. So yeah, now we'll move on to our international flight. And that is at the other end of the terminal where we began the airport update, but on the other side. And then right here we have the Volaris A321neo, the beautiful model right here by Gemini Jets. So yes, here's one of our international services to Fresno that is served by both Volaris and Aeromexico, mostly from Guadalajara. That's what this aircraft is doing right here. This one arriving from Guadalajara, and will be heading out on the turnaround tonight. So this is pretty typical action here at Fresno. these international flights that arrive in both Aeromexico and Volaris. They arrive in very late at night or even early into the morning. They leave at an ungodly hour in the morning, like midnight to 2 a.m., like something like that. I wouldn't say that that's very pleasant for our passengers here going to Mexico, but it is one of our very interesting, very unique airport that does services. I believe this is like the smallest airport or the smallest U.S. airport that both Volaris and Aeromexico serve, which is very cool to see. Yeah, so now I always had this aircraft subbing for an A320neo or an A320ceo, but now Volaris is actually flying the A321s and the A321neos here. Not commonly, but they have appeared on Flight Radar. So this is actually filling in for an A321ceo. That's very cool that Volaris has upgraded this service, that they're able to upgrade this service to Fresno of all places to an A321. And it's not that they have only like one daily service. They have multiple daily services to Fresno from mostly Guadalajara, but like on this day, for example, there are 2 Guadalajara services. But I don't know if they have it right now, but in the past at least they've had Morelia and Silao and maybe another city as well. But yeah, this is the only one that we see today. There was an an A320neo that arrived early in the morning, later on in the night, earlier in the morning. It was like 1 a.m. or something like that, which is insane. But yeah, very cool that Volaris is now serving this route with the A321s, and hopefully this aircraft will actually be realistic at some future airport update when they do fly in the A321neo, and hopefully I can finally get an accurate capture of the Volaris flight in here. And Aeromexico, I do have the model of their MAX 8, and they're still flying in here, which is good to see. But they fly in the 737-800. Maybe they'll sub in the MAX one day, but yeah, that model is still technically unrealistic, but it is pretty close, just like this Volaris. It's technically unrealistic for this service, but close enough that I think it is worthy of a substitute. So I'll do it for all our realistic aircraft that would be here on the night of April 8th / morning of April 9th. And now we'll move in to our one fictional aircraft that flew in on during the day on April 9th. And right here we have the Atlas Air 747-8F. This is the last 747, the Apex Logistics livery. Although this is filling in for a 747-400, but this is my only Atlas Air model. So I'm just subbing it in here. It is a brand new model as well to the channel. So I'll have to make sure that unboxing video goes out before I post this video. It probably has come out by now. Yeah, here's the Atlas Air 747. Never seen a 747 at Fresno before, so this is quite the special appearance here. This aircraft arrived in from Okinawa via Anchorage, so that is very cool. This is a military charter, I presume, because in J.J. Skippy's 50th airport update of FSD, Sioux Falls Regional Airport, there were two military charters of Clita Air and National that both went to Okinawa from Sioux Falls, both 747s. And so I'm assuming this is also a military charter. This one arrived in from Okinawa via Anchorage. Don't know where this is heading out to. There's no flight radar data at the time of recording, or this one will be heading out to, but I presume it will be heading probably back out to Anchorage if I had to guess. But very unique aircraft to see here. Did not anticipate seeing this in the update, and when I saw this on the flight schedule, I figured I just had to include it in this airport update as our last little aircraft here. So this is not where it would be realistically. I'm just having a taxi by the terminal here. This would of course be in the cargo area. So this is not realistic to where the aircraft was. It will actually be in real life, but once again, still just a very special occurrence that I felt that I had to include this aircraft in the airport update here, and it is absolutely gorgeous to see. So the first time this aircraft is appearing in an airport update, and I'm glad I can include it in an airport update because I didn't really know if I would be able to or when I would be able to, and it made an appearance sooner than I imagined, and that is what we love to see. So great to see this Atlas Air 747-8F/400, if you want to be realistic here. That was the actual aircraft. Of course, I don't have a model of that one, but yeah, so that'll conclude our airport update today. So yeah, thank you all for checking out this airport update today. I will see you tomorrow, and as always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen.